Hello, my name is Sonja Montiel. I am the founder of College Confidence. I am an educator, a mother of a fifth grader and first-year college student, wife to my high school sweetheart, and a soccer player through and through.
And I'm Hilary Bilbrey, inspired living strategist, author, speaker, mama to 3 teenagers, wife, and adventure seeker. You know, some things are just meant to be. Although we met randomly in a class, Sonya and I really became clear that our work, our values, and our heart align. Soon we began talking about our families and our worries and our businesses, our lives, and we realized we were helping each other move forward into our own confidence and integrity.
We understand that many people have this fear of showing such vulnerabilities that you and I were able to get to so quickly, and it's because of that alignment. But that vulnerability and those conversations are really a way to get to the heart of the matter. And so Decided Heart was born, and this is why we would love to invite you to join our conversations.
Welcome to this Mother's Day edition of Decided Heart Conversations. I'm Hilary, Sonya's here, and we have some amazing guests, but we're going to let them introduce themselves in just a minute. But I'm going to sort of set the stage for how they're going to go about doing that. We're going to start with 5 really quick little facts about ourselves. So name, y'all already know who I am. The next thing is age of kids. I have, as of yesterday, 15-year-old and 17-year-old and 18-year-old. So just to put it in high school terms, senior, junior, freshman. Yeah, we weren't thinking about that when we were thinking about paying for college later, but whatever. So I became a mom for the first time when I was 28. And the best part of being a mom to me has come lately. I mean, there are different stages. Right now, I am reveling in the amazing conversations. I'm such a conversation person. They have these things where you'll talk to them, and Breck, my oldest, will bring in the French Revolution, or all the critical thinking, and the conversations that go on are so deep and so rich that that's my favorite thing about being a mom right now at this point is like, oh, they're so smart and I love it. so cool. The hardest part of being a mom is letting them fail so that they can grow. That is the hardest part of being a mom. Sonya, I'm going to hand off to you next before we turn it over to our very special guests.
Thank you. All right, so Sonya here, college counseling forever. Age of kids, I have an 11-year-old and a 19-year-old, so just 2. I became a mom when I was 25, and I look back like, God, I should have waited. I should have waited a little longer when I was a little bit more mature. And someone in the room, she's going to introduce herself next, but Katia, she was my teacher when I was 25. And she said, as I was in books, so nervous, she said, dump all of it. You don't need any of that crap. Just trust that baby inside you. She's going to teach you all that she knows. I listened to her fully because she was like in my eyes, like, and it worked. It was the best advice. So thank you, Katia. Best part of being a mom, learning. Like, and again, it goes from she will teach you all that you need to know. I let that go, and both daughters have taught me so much about new perspectives, new lessons, more about myself, reframing things. Toughest part, parenting them as they are. Not parenting them as I wish they would be or hope that they would be, but as they are, as they were born. And I'm constantly on that teeter-totter. So it's been fun. So Katia, bring it to you.
Thanks for including me. This is awesome. So I'm Katia Armistead, and I have 2 children. Spencer is 27, just turned 27. I like to say that I was 10 when I had him.
But I would believe you.
I was actually 26. And William is 23. Spencer is a teacher at Berkeley High School in Northern California. He lives in Oakland, and super proud of him. And William is a senior in college. And, we can talk a little bit about how COVID has affected us, but it's significant to have someone, I think about Hilary having a senior in high school. These seniors, wherever stage they're in, high school or college, you know, you really think about the loss that they're having right now. The best part about it being a mom, I really wanted to be a mom. You know, Sonya talked about maybe she should have waited a little longer. I was ready. I was like pregnant 6 months after I was married. I was ready. I loved it. And I love having that unconditional love. You know, maybe it's a little easier since I'm completely on the other side and they're young adults now. But I love the relationships and I love the closeness. And the hardest part was that figuring out how not to lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Having little ones and just snuggling and being their everything. And I think it would have been harder to let go and them be the men that they need to be if I didn't fight with myself to make sure that I continue to grow and develop and have my own sense of identity. And my job is I'm the Assistant Vice Chancellor and Dean of Student Life at UC Santa Barbara. And I see parents who forget that part and struggle letting go, and it's too late. If you wait till they're freshmen in college and they haven't let go, they're really struggling. So luckily I identified that early in life and believed in helping them develop their own independence, and therefore giving room for me to be my best self.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want to go to Liz next?
Hey there, I'm Liz. I am a fitness trainer and I have 2 kids. My son is 8 and my daughter is 4. And I think I have a lot to learn from Katia. We need to talk because my answers were actually the exact same as hers. The best part of being a mom is just that unconditional love, no matter what. You have it for them, they have it for you. And, you know, when they're little like this, you really feel it. And the hardest part, especially right now, I'm feeling a little bit of loss of identity. And I remember feeling it when they were both firstborn. And I remember not even being able to remember, like, if I ate or the baby ate, or like, did the baby go to the bathroom or was that me? Just like completely losing yourself in those little things. And then just everything. It can be very, very consuming.
Yeah, you guys are both so, like, I think that's something that we all struggle with, is that identity piece of motherhood and where it separates. Yadi.
Hi, my name is Yadira, go by Yadi. I'm a premium audit reviewer and auditor. I became a mom at the age of 23. And let's see, the best part of being a mom is, I agree with all you that I always wanted to be a mom. I always wanted to be a mom. And the biggest struggle for being a mom is, like, I agree with Liz and everyone else, is that for me was trying to find myself and separate my identity by myself as a whole, as a woman and as a mom. So that was the biggest struggle after she graduated. She's going to graduate. She's going to be 23. And next Friday, she graduates from college. So I'm very proud of her. But that, for me, that was the biggest struggle, is that trying to identify myself as a woman and then also as a parent, and just separate those two.
So, I mean, and we're going to kind of hit on some of these themes, but I think we have to introduce the biggest elephant in the room right now. Its name is COVID. And I think that elephant has really kind of shook us in maybe some great ways and some challenging ways. So can you speak to, and anyone in our room right now, what is it like to be a mom during COVID? And are there positives? And what is the biggest challenge that you're facing, particularly with COVID kind of entering our space?
For me, it's just been extra consuming. I've got the 4-year-old and the 8-year-old, and my name of the game is usually let's get out. Like, let's at least get outside. Let's go run around. Let's do something. And you know, we have the backyard and we've been able to go on walks and stuff, but it's been just consuming, just trying to keep these little people engaged. You know how 4-year-olds are. When they're not engaged, they start to act out, especially my daughter. And then the guilt that goes along with that, like, oh my God, why can't I just engage with these people all day? And it's just been, that's just been probably my biggest struggle, just being like no time to myself, which I really value.
Something I didn't mention is that I have, so Spencer's launched. He lives in Oakland. He's doing his thing. William came home for his last part of his senior year, so he's home. Then I also have my second cousin, Leilani. She is 19. She moved in with me to finish high school and has been going to Santa Barbara City College, and this is her second year there. And this fall, my nephew, my husband's sister's son, Hayden, moved in with us, and he's 18 to start Santa Barbara City College. So I have 3 college students living with me, and that has been challenging already because I already have like 26,000 students that I have to deal with at work. But just navigating that at home, and then to all of a sudden all of us be home at once.
Yeah.
And we had to upgrade our internet because all of us on Zoom trying to get work done. Fortunately, my husband still mostly goes into his office, so, but he's home a lot more too. So upgraded internet. But I think there's a lot happening at that age, 18, 19, 20. And especially when I haven't raised them from birth, kind of navigating that. And so it's been challenging. Like Leilani's been with me for a few years now, so we've gotten to know each other well and have navigated that. And Hayden is a different breed, and my son who's home, we know each other really well, so he's been totally fine. And it's not like Hayden's been hard, but it's his first year of school and being away from home and doesn't have a lot of friends yet, and navigating college, and he's first generation, and it's been a challenge, kind of, and them not really realizing that when they're in their room and they're on their Zoom calls or doing their homework, they're like all about it, and they don't realize that I really am working. And so they so quickly will come in and just barge in, and I'm like, I'm on with my vice chancellor right now. Could you just hold on 1 second? So you'd think that I would only have that with little kids, but you have it with older ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
what I mentioned already, the loss of graduation and that first year for Hayden and that kind of stuff.
That must be heartbreaking.
That's with Liz too. I just have to say what you're saying, Katia, is so right with the barging in and all of the things trying to figure it out. But I actually have to give a shout out to Liz. She's a fitness trainer, and she is being amazing about just incorporating the kids with it. It's like, and now we're going to do push-ups with my daughter on my back, and that's just the way it is. And she just navigates it so beautifully. I love it.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
I mean,
I think you have to. I have staff with little ones. I have one woman that I meet with regularly, and she has an 18-month-old. How do you tell an 18-month-old that, I'm sorry, I'm talking with my boss right now? And I love it. I like, Juicy, hey, Juicy, how are you?
Yeah, it's kind of becoming part of the culture right now. People are really forgiving of it. I mean, you see it on TV. You see it on, the news hour, the people Skyping in and the kids in the background. It's just kind of the way it is. So there's some charm to that piece of it. I mean, we're all navigating this crazy new world together, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for me, it's really interesting because I have such a gap. I have a child who, is needy, and I have this young adult. And so, and I know with Yadi, I'd love to hear your story because you just have that one adult in your home. But I have to constantly think about, wait, I can't treat them the same. And then of course but I need to really, really try hard. Like, I have a young adult and I shall treat her so. And there's a little bit of a struggle sometimes because Dad would treat her as a child. Like, you will do as I say. I'm like, that's not gonna be as effective as you thought it was when she was gone a year ago. How do you respect this kind of this new child who was out of state for a year and coming back like with a new identity.
Mhm.
And yet you've been doing the same things at home with your young child. And so it's just kind of finding that mix and balance. I feel like I'm facilitating a lot because again, like Katia, I work with a lot of teens and young adults. I know how important it is for them to establish their sense of independence. And so maybe dad doesn't necessarily understand the depth of it. So I'm always kind of facilitating that. It's just so interesting and frustrating sometimes.
Yadi, what are you finding?
Let's see. For me personally, I struggled for the first week or two mentally, meaning because I'm very social. I was up and up, out, socializing, and then all of a sudden, just bam, out of the blue, I have to stay home, locked down 24/7. And I love my daughter, and we're very close, but the walls felt like they were very, very tiny, and we were in a very enclosed box. So it was an adjustment for both. Trying to figure out how to, even though we're in a very close space, how to give ourselves each other space at the same time. But then after the struggle, something really magical happened at the same time. We started doing more things together, projects together. So we're doing a lot of cooking, baking, experimenting. So it's really good. So some things have come out really good about that. But with the first time, for the first couple of weeks, I would say I struggled a lot with the space and being locked down, because we're both very social, and all of a sudden we can't go out, we can't do anything, and all of a sudden it's just, we're locked down, we're together. Okay, give me some breathing room. And what helped is that I work in the living room. That's my office, and her office is in her room. And so it's going to be interesting because, next week it's her last week, and then she's going to have all this free time. So I'm going to wonder how that's going to work. But yeah, so
I'm with you. Like, mine just finished finals. Well, my son has one more week, but the 2 City College students just finished. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what do they have?
yeah, that's the thing that I'm really worried that, like, okay, she's gonna have all this free time, but I'm not, because I'm gonna still have to work from home. So, I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So we'll see. I don't know what else we could do. I mean, we already did some project. I mean, we're down to painting the bathroom. That's how.
That's when you know it's bad. No, I'm just kidding.
We're already trying to paint everything in here.
I know. Well, I've got some chores over here. If you like, you have other things that need to get painted or whatever, come on over, sister. I've got wine, whatever. I'll trade you.
Okay.
I'll trade you. I can identify with a lot of things that everybody's saying. But I also, just to hit one more time, I guess what Katia was saying about the graduation, I had my 2 oldest in particular were doing things that were very unique this year. One was the graduation, and then my junior was doing a program that could only exist your junior year called the Conserve School. And not only that, it's this amazing school in northern Wisconsin, but they were just taken over by a boys' military school. So it's the last year in existence. He missed his solos. He missed his, like, all of these amazing life-changing experiences that his brother had. He got 6 weeks of it. And so there was sadness there. We finally got him home because he was actually stuck in the Midwest for a while. Finally got him home last week. So that's great. But I, like, Monday night, and I think there were a lot of things at it that just all came together Monday night, but I laid in bed Monday night and I was just racked with sobbing. And I, like, absolutely sobbing. And I think it was Jake was finally home, so I didn't have to be the worried mom anymore. And all of that came together. But in addition, it just all hit me. It hit me that, like, their prom, and Breck's never had prom before, and graduation and all of these things, these are little moments of us letting go. And their whole second semester, you have these little milestones that help you to let go a little bit more. And kind of like you get to graduation, I'm sorry, but graduation is as much about them as it is, or about us as it is about, because you're like, dude, high five, no like DUIs. Hey, high five, like no one's pregnant, we're good. Like all of those things. And right.
That's our job, is to get them to 18.
Right? Like we did this. And
They're still alive.
yes. So there's this lot, and I didn't realize how deep it went until, quite frankly, this week. And I couldn't, yeah. So that part has been the most difficult. Is I think I'm having a hard time separating what is mine to mourn, what is theirs to mourn. And then we're so compassionate towards our kids, and it's like we crawl in their skin and take on. So that's kind of been that. But I know, I mean, when you guys all think about it, like what we're going back into, we're going to start, phases are opening. Are there things that you've learned in this process that you feel like you're going to allow this to be a bit of a reset, and you're not going to take with you, or you will bring with you into whatever our new normal looks like?
Well, I felt like I was never home. You know, I mean, I didn't. Thank goodness I had a husband to remind me to come home, because the work was always there. So, and I always did. I even put on my calendar to try to work one day a month at home, and that still wouldn't happen. So, careful what you wish for.
It's your fault.
So, but the permission to do things at home, and I've always been flexible with my staff, and I know other supervisors haven't, and that push-pull, and so that's something I hope that we're all better at. Like, it's okay to do work at home. It's okay to incorporate life with work better. We need to figure that out, and so I'm hoping some of that kind of plays forward, and I think it definitely will be for me.
Just a really quick, I have to jump on that really quick. It's so funny. We lived in Europe for a while, my husband and I, and an observation, somebody asked me what was so different about it. And I said, because in the US, we live to work.
Yeah.
And in Europe, they work to live. And so it really is integrated in a different way. I wonder, do you think that this might shift us?
And slowing down, right? We're used to immediacy, Prime, Amazon Prime, this really fast, everything fast. And now we can't make those type of plans, right? We have to slow down. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No,
I agree.
Other thought? Yeah, I was going to say other thoughts on that, Liz or Yadi or Sonia?
I think it might pull us away from the rat race a little bit. It hasn't been, there's definitely been perks of not rushing around from activity to activity, thing to thing. So I'm not sure. I've been asking myself what I'm going to, when we go back, what I'm going to leave behind from the old life. And I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. I mean, it was mostly just kids' activities that was busying us. I don't know. I've been working from home. I just train outside in my backyard, and I'm kind of thinking it's going to be, I want to do something maybe outside of the house when I'm able to. So I'm going the other way. I'm thinking, woman, you gotta get out of here. You gotta get some time on your own on a regular basis, even if it's just once a week.
I love that.
The weirdest
And that's super important with the age of your kids too, right?
Huh?
That's super important considering the age of your kids.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I have this weird thing where I'm always like, God, I need to get away. And then when I'm away, I just feel the guilt.
Yes. You
So I
still
can't
feel
go in.
Yeah.
So, and I'm reflecting, and it's the weirdest thing to say, oh my God, I name my car. Her name's Olga, a very dependable German woman. She's been there for me because of the taxiing, right? And I look at Olga, I'm like, I haven't driven you in 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really reflect on like, it's purposeful for me to constantly be moving. Like, oh, my purpose today is I'm going to do my work from this time, and I have to drive so-and-so to here, then I drive over here, and then I drove over here. And that movement actually makes me very purposeful. like it's tangible, right? Like, look at me. I am so like, I've got goals and I'm achieving them. And looking at Olga dirty and like, gosh, does your engine turn? Is it gonna turn? It kind of, it's a, not a slap in the face. It's kind of like this jolt, like you can still be purposeful being home and being in the roles that you are proud of. But like Liz, I really can't wait. I can't wait to have a little bit of more movement, you know, more here to, and I like driving, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to have that back.
Well, don't get me wrong. I do want to get out of this house. I'm super social, and it's like, this is not what I meant when I wanted to be at home a little bit more.
I agree. I was like, oh, I always wanted to work from home. I always asked my boss, I want to work from home. I want to work from home. And now I'm like, I will take that back. I do not want to do this, you know, and I just can't wait till they lift this. And let me tell you, this place is going to be empty for a while as soon as they give me the green light to leave.
I think what I want to do is I just kind of now want to bring in this other layer, which is this holiday, you know, Mother's Day, you know, and I think each of us grew up with what the holiday, the meaning of that holiday is, and then what it is for us. I'm just really, Hilary and I were talking about it. We were really curious about what Mother's Day is to you, and how is that holiday going to change because of, you know, it's hitting us with COVID. And I'll just briefly start. So growing up as a child, Mother's Day was like the Hallmark commercial. It was huge. We went to the big brunch at the hotel at the Hilton, and it was like pomp and circumstance. And then when I got married, it was just very different. I had to really chisel down my expectations. And then it was okay. I mean, my partner in life, Richard, really taught me the meaning of it. So I'm expecting more meaning and subtlety, but meaning rather than pomp and circumstance. And God knows, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. And not that and seeing them like, and I don't expect anything, right? Am I expecting something? And I realized like our kids' schools are the ones that tell our kids, think about Mother's Day. And I'm not going to tell my kids, think about Mother's Day. That's so selfish. So I don't know. That's where my thoughts are right now in the next 2 days. How about you guys?
Well, for me, for mom, it was all about her from morning till the end of the day. It was all about mom, just pampering and all that. For me, it's just as long as Alex is with me, that's all I really care. It's just quality time. That makes me happy. Whatever it is that we do, as long as we're doing it together, I'm happy. So I'm not really into the, like presents or anything like that. But as long as I'm spending time with her, that's my gift right there, and that makes me happy. Just spending time with her, because I know that it's going to be very limited after she moves out and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I don't have any grand expectations. I'm not really a big pomp and circumstance type, and I'm not really a big like gifts or things type. So we'll probably just do something low key. I'm sure my husband will make a nice meal, and he got me a little gift. And my son's just in second grade, so the teachers were still on top of having him do his little note. It was actually really cute. They had all the kids write just a little blurb to their mothers, and then they got it printed in the Acorn, or at least the online Acorn. Yeah, so they were on top of it. That was awesome. But I remember Mother's Day was the first. I remember my favorite Mother's Day was my first Mother's Day ever. My son was born in March, and then Mother's Day came around 2 months later. And man, I had a tough time with that first baby. It was just, like I said, all consuming. I had never had surgery before, and I had a C-section, and I was not used to being up all night with the baby, and I was just overwhelmed and blown away. And I felt like for the first time it was a holiday that I had earned. Like my birthday, no big deal. I didn't do anything to earn my birthday, but Mother's Day I felt like I could really be proud. And I think
I love that.
Yeah, so that was my most memorable Mother's Day for sure.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I know, yeah. I don't even remember my first Mother's Day. I think I'd had a C-section also. Also, my son was born in March, so
Wow.
it was a little bit of a blur. It's like hard to remember those young ages sometimes because you don't sleep and you're all feeling and all that good stuff. I think we no pomp and circumstance here. I mean, 2 boys and a husband. Yeah. As Tim would say, you're not my mother. My oldest has gotten better at recognizing me for things. He's sent me pedicures now or something like that, which we can't do now. So I don't know. He'll probably call me at least, and I'm fine with that. Something that has tickled me or been kind of special beyond my family, which is very low key. If we do anything, like I don't even know if they know this household knows it's Mother's Day. And I remember little things like, them making me breakfast for the morning or something like that when the kids were little. But something significant to me is when college students, like students I mentor and younger staff, recognize me for Mother's Day. A shout out on social media or at the office. When that started happening, that was really heartwarming because it just signified that they appreciated me and recognized me as a mom. And being a mom is a huge part of my identity, right? Like all of us. Yeah. So it's one thing and important and special when your family recognizes that. And it was to get that outside recognition for some reason really was really cool. I'd get texts from my mentees and, hey, Katia, happy Mother's Day. Thank you for everything. And those kind of moments are extra special because I don't have to do that.
I love that. I would say for me, there's a couple thoughts. One was I don't have very big, I'm not a pomp and circumstance person either, but I am going to be honest that if there's not like a little bit of thought, then I'm disappointed. And so I've learned a long time ago to ask for what I actually want. Like what would make this day special for me and if anything above and beyond.
Here's my Mother's Day present right now. Wave. This is my son.
Oh, hello. all of us mothers margaritas at some point.
I need more limes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers, Mama. Absolutely. We said we should have made it a cocktail party next time.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, so I thought, I always think, like, my husband and I joke about this all the time. Every year he'd be like, what do you want for a birthday, this, that, whatever? And I'd be like, I want white lights on a tree. And he's like, okay, that's not enough. Finally, after 20 years, we've now been married almost 25 years, but after 20 years of marriage, he actually did do the white lights in the backyard. And I was so happy. I was crying. Like, you really did just want white lights. I'm like, yes, like that's how simple. So my 2 simple things, I know, right? My 2 simple things this year I asked for is we have this beautiful orange tree that has the best oranges on it. And so I asked if he would get like either Prosecco or champagne and freshly squeezed and do a little fresh mimosa from our backyard. So I asked for that. And then my friend Dendi works right now through Safe Passages. It's it's a micro community within Newbury Park that is really struggling right now with people who are not getting the food they need and the services they need and all of that. And so every single day they need people down there volunteering and helping. So I asked if my whole family would go down from 10 to 12 on Sunday and serve with me as my gift, because I think it's important for us to, I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, here I am thinking of what I want to do for Mother's Day. And the reality is these moms are just trying to figure out how to get food on the table.
Oh my gosh, totally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's going to be this year.
And I love, it's okay to ask for what you want.
Yes.
It really is. And what you're asking for is so meaningful. So it's not like, yeah, I'd like a new diamond ring, and so, when you first said, I asked for what I want, and I was like, I just can't do that. Like but then I could ask for those type of things. And so I appreciate you giving us permission for asking something that would be really meaningful. And it's more the time and being, with your family and doing something nice that everybody in the family could enjoy or feel good about doing.
I think it is so important. We somewhere along the line, and I know we'll wrap up so we don't get like super long, but somewhere along the line, we were taught that we can't ask for what we want because it's rude. And I guess it depends on what it is that we are asking for, of course, like you said. But I think being upset when somebody can't read our mind isn't
Right.
fair.
Yeah.
And so that's when asking for what you want is really really important. And like you said, it just keeps things in perspective. So I didn't give permission. We all just have permission. That's just what we have. But I can tell you one thing. I have loved every second of listening to you ladies. And I mean, we need our own like weekly roundtable get together where I can hear all of your thoughts, because it's really filled my heart. Sonya?
Oh my gosh, love it. I mean, it's just so special when you get moms sharing stories and like there's some honesty and rawness. We need that. I don't think we can do that in our homes, even the closest of our partners. There's just something so special. There's a special tunnel where we can just say, hey, I'm struggling here. And everyone's not trying to fix it. We're just listening and supporting. So I'm so glad that you guys took the risk and joined us today to do that.
Absolutely. I've appreciated the wisdom. I've appreciated the compassion. I've appreciated the honesty. And like I said, I feel like, okay, I remember being there, and I feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't been there yet, but thank you for that information. So we need more of this. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
It was really nice to meet you all.
Good
So
to
nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.
For having us on.
He wants me to try this one.
Oh, I love this. This is, hey, all you moms out there, happy Mother's Day. Ask for what you want. Maybe it's a margarita.
Or two different flavors. Oh gosh.
You have 4-year-olds, I have 23-year-olds jumping on me.
Liz, what your future might look
I know, it doesn't go away.
Hang in
I'll
there.
take it.
Exactly, because you don't want it to go away.
Will be on a YouTube channel in public.
Okay.
No swearing. We are talking about children, though.
Oh no, we can swear. We can swear. That's fine. That's totally fine. But if there's something you don't want someone to hear later, then that.
Right. Don't
Okay.
incriminate myself.
And then if you drop the F-bomb once in a while, that's okay. I mean, I am going to. It's not going to be live. So if something comes up, you're like, shoot, I didn't really want to like leave that live. I can edit that out. So we do have some control.
Just tell us. Yeah, tell us. Or if like you call somebody a name and you're like, ooh, fine. We got you. We got you. Just let us know.
It is Friday afternoon. I mean,
I
anything
know.
could be said,
We
right?
don't know. We don't know. I just had a shot of Fireball. I'm just telling you.
You did?
Hilary, you need to tell us this. I want one. We should have all had one.
I know.